comes the sun. Here comes the sun. And I said, it's alright.
Remember this, God cannot be anything other than what God is. God is abundance. Don't come to God asking God to restore your scarcity. Don't ask God to fix things that are missing in your life, because God can only know what God is, and God is pure abundance. So how do you do it? You pray like St. Francis prayed. Make me an instrument of thy abundance. In other words, let me summon from what you are the energy back to who I am, who has forgotten that I'm pure abundance, that it's on its way. There's nothing for me to fuss about. Don't ask God to heal you of your sickness. God is pure well-being. Our sicknesses, our illnesses are resistance to well-being, even though they're often collective, like Valerie, who had contracted polio when she was 8 years old. It's still a collective, ego-based thing that we created as human beings. It's not from God. It is what we attracted into our lives. If you want healing, ask God to become, ask yourself rather, to become an instrument of that well-being. If you want to heal yourself of anything, that's how I do it when I have any kind of a sickness or an illness or a cold or an ache or a pain or whatever it might be. Make me an instrument of thy well-being. I don't want to come to you contaminated with. I want to attract from you that which is my destiny to get past. But always remember as you do that, that you're not this body anyway. That who you are is not that. And God knows that as well. That's the first thing. Second thing is, connecting to Source is not about learning new things. It's about remembering. Remembering. Remembering who you came, where you came from. A Course in Miracles puts it this way. The remembrance of God comes to the quiet mind. A mind at war with itself remembers not eternal gentleness. What you remember is who you are. Be done with this madness and return instead to the quiet memory of God. As you pray, as you commune with Source, Source communes with you through alignments. You commune with Source by remembering who you are in the first place, which is not this stuff and not this body. By remembering that, going into that place. And third, there's 5 of these, but I'm only going to do 3. I don't want her to miss her flight. The third is, God knows. Don't presume to tell God what God has forgotten. God forgets no one. Every animal in the whole kingdom, when it is time for the fall to come, even while it's still summer, as fall approaches, their fur gets heavier, their coat gets heavier. God remembers every cat and every dog and every dingo. Even if you take a dingo that's down in the southern hemisphere, when the seasons are the reverse, and put it on an airplane and fly it up north, it suddenly does it adjusts itself. God remembers a dingo on a 747. It's no longer going to be fall, it's going to be spring, so it starts taking away its coat rather than adding to it. And it's still on its way to this other place. God knows. We all come from the same source. And I think finally the most important thing about God is that, to understand about Source, is that God doesn't need us to love God. I don't think God worries about our temples and which religion it is and which organization it is and who's doing this. I don't think that that's important to our Source. I think that the way you show love for God is not by building temples and praying to God and loving God, is that the best way to show your love for God is to love each other, is to radiate out the love that you came from. You came from love. You must be love in order to connect yourself and have the power of the source. And the power of the source is the power to heal, the power to manifest, the power to attract the right people. But you can't be that if you're not what it is. And you have to be that in every thought that you have. Offer up 10th rung energies to your highest desire. Because in every moment of your life, you have this choice. You can either be a host to God or a hostage to your ego. It's your choice.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.